Hey action fans, this is Buddha Mate, and here we talk about action cinema. Watching the 9th episode of our show, Extraction 2 as one of the most popular films of all time. The official rating of the Roadhouse reboot with Conor McGregor. De-aging technology for the Equalizer franchise. A brand new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Tom Hardy as a member of a Minister Bikers gang. Old and new mercenaries of Expendables 4. And of course the list of action movies you can watch right now, as well as the results of box office and new trailers. Let's start with the news. Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth recently entered Netflix's top 10 for most popular films of all time. It was watched over 42 million times in its first 3 days of release. The long-awaited Amazon Studios Roadhouse reboot starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor has officially been given an R rating. The new take follows a former UFC fighter who takes a job as a bouncer at a rough-and-tumble roadhouse in the Florida Keys, but soon discovers that not everything is what it seems in this tropical paradise. Director of the Equalizer franchise has said that he considered using the aging technology for a potential origin story in the series. He wonders if there is a story to tell about how Washington's Robert McCall became the man he is. Fast X director Louis Leterrier is teasing big changes for Jason Momoa's character in the next movie. It was interesting to play with the duality and the push-pull within the character, where within the same sentence he's laughing and feels the pain of losing everything. Only an actor like Jason could have done that. The movie is eyeing an April 2025 release date. Lucasfilm's newest Star Wars series named Ahsoka has officially become the most watched title on the streamer. The first episode has already received 14 million views. Ahsoka is written and executive produced by Dave Filoni, best known for his work on the animated shows The Clone Wars and Rebels. Chris Hemsworth and Pedro Pascal are attached to star in Crime 101, a crime story in the vein of Heat. The story follows high-level jewel thieves taking place up and down the Pacific coast, and police have linked the thefts to the Colombian cartels. Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa will star in a new buddy movie called The Wrecking Crew. This film will see them appear on screen together again after both appearing in the 2021 movie Dune and Season 2 of the Apple TV Plus show C, where the two played brothers. The Last of Us showrunner Craig Mazin revealed that before the WGA strike, he had begun developing a brand new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Writer Ted Elliott wrote a fantastic script, and the strike happened and everyone was waiting around. Director Ridley Scott's Napoleon epic starring Joaquin Phoenix has a 4.5-hour cut he'd like to screen someday. But for now, the short 157-minute version will be released in theaters in November 2023. Paul Mescal is set to play Lucius, the son of Nielsen's Lucilla, in the highly anticipated upcoming sequel to Gladiator, which is set to take place years after the events of the first film. Ridley Scott will direct from a screenplay written by David Scarpa. The Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire release date has been moved to April 12, 2024. The epic new film will delve further into the histories of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. Dune Part 2's release date has been moved from November 3, 2023 to March 15, 2024. This follow-up film will explore the mythic journey of Paul Atreides as he unites with Chani and the Freeman while on a warpath of revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Let's take a look at the latest movie trailers for the upcoming releases. The David Fincher's Killer is set to premiere at the Venice Film Festival and is based on a graphic novel by Alexis Nolant and Luke Jackman. It tells the tale of an assassin played by Michael Fassbender, who starts to question his sanity as he awaits his latest target. In the Red Band trailer for Expendables 4, the old team of mercenaries Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture are joined for the first time by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Megan Fox, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, and Andy Garcia. The movie releases in theaters on September 22. Rebel Moon is an epic science fantasy event decades in the making from Netflix. When a peaceful colony on the edge of a galaxy finds itself threatened by the armies of a tyrannical ruling force, Korra, a mysterious stranger living among the villagers, becomes their best hope for survival. The first part, called A Child of Fire, will be available on December 22, 2023. Meanwhile, the second part is expected in 2024. The Freelance is an action comedy starring John Cena, Juan Pablo Raba, and Alison Brie. The unlikely trio must figure out how to survive the jungle and each other in order to make it out alive. The movie is set for release in theaters on October 6, 2023. The Bike Riders drama film starring Tom Hardy will be released on December 1, 2023. Seen through the lives of its members, the club evolves over the course of a decade from a gathering place for local outsiders into a more sinister gang, threatening the original group's unique way of life. The upcoming World War II drama Comandante is based on the real-life story of Salvatore Dodaro, the naval officer and submariner who saved 26 Belgian merchant seamen. The film was selected as the opening film at the 80th Venice International Film Festival. Now let's take a look at breakdown of winners and losers at the box office. The Equalizer 3 made a statement at the box office over this weekend when it grossed the highest opening the franchise has seen. The third part of a solid action-driven franchise starring Denzel Washington destroyed all competition at the domestic box office. Worldwide, The Equalizer 3 sits at a solid $72 million. Blue Beetle could be on track to become DC Studios' most successful film of the year. James Gunn revealed that Blue Beetle will continue in the franchise. This effectively proves that even DC Studios saw the potential, and it seems it might be the only hopeful project of 2023. Worldwide, it sits at a solid $105 million, and domestic at $59 million. The Neil Blomkamp-directed video game adaptation Gran Turismo narrowly edged out Barbie for the top spot at the domestic box office. The movie remains firmly in moviegoers' top 5 films around the world. With a reported budget of $60 million, it's still a way to go until Gran Turismo hits the magic break-even mark, which would be around $150 million. It has already grossed $31 million domestic and $81 million worldwide. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem with the supporting voice of Jackie Chan is now Hollywood's 4th highest grossing animated film of the year. It has grossed $108 million at the domestic box office and $153 million worldwide. Meg 2. The Trench sees Jason Statham return to punch 3 megalodons instead of just 1, and it has absolutely exploded overseas results. The movie has now reached a worldwide cumulative total of $376 million worldwide in 33 days. Meg 3 seems all but assured at this point. Mission: Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 with Tom Cruise and a budget of $291 million grossed just $560 million worldwide and just $170 domestic. With little room to grow in the coming weeks, it's looking like Dead Reckoning will become the first film in the franchise to end its theatrical run with less than $600 million worldwide since 2006's Mission Impossible 3. Mission Impossible is the 17th highest grossing film series of all time, earning over $4.09 billion worldwide. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny premiered out of competition at the 76th Cannes Film Festival. The film has been swept up in the tidal wave of the Barbie and Oppenheimer and grossed just $382 million worldwide and $174 million domestic. It was the 5th and the last movie in the series. The 10th film of Vin Diesel's racing franchise, Fast X, takes the crown as the most expensive film in the Fast franchise and one of the most expensive movies ever made. It grossed $704 million worldwide and just $145 million domestic. To be deemed a success, Fast X needs to generate at least $850 million. Totally, the franchise brought $7.47 billion at the worldwide box office. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to become the 3rd highest grossing movie of the year with $845 million worldwide and $358 million domestic. Totally, the franchise brought $2.48 billion at the worldwide box office. Here is what you can watch in theaters and on streaming services today. Bad City is a Japanese crime film about a former police captain secretly released and put in charge of a special task force to arrest a corrupt business executive who decides to run for mayor and starts eliminating opponents from the rival mafia. Double Life follows a widow who finds out from her late husband's mistress that his death was not an accident. Both women work together to unmask the truth behind the man they both loved. Hitmen is a new movie starring Eric Roberts about a powerful CEO who seeks vengeance for the murder of his grandson by offering a $1 million bounty to find his killers. The Assassin is a Korean epic film that follows the greatest assassin during his journey on his deadly last mission. I Am Rage is an action film about an ancient cult that made the deadly mistake of abducting a young woman with a violent, shocking past. River Wild follows a pair of siblings who love but distrust each other as they embark on a whitewater rafting trip with a small group. One of their friends from childhood turns out to be more dangerous than he appeared. Ransomed is a Korean film about a young diplomat who is assigned the task of carrying the ransom money to rescue an abducted diplomat in Lebanon, and a local taxi driver accidentally gets involved in the mission. The Moon is a sci-fi movie from Korea about a man left in space due to an unfortunate accident while another man on Earth struggles to bring him back safely. Soul Catcher is a Polish film about a military contractor hired to seize a weapon that turns people into savage killers who seeks revenge when his brother falls victim to the device. The Collective film stars Lucas Dill, Ruby Rose, and Don Johnson, and tells about a young recruit to a mysterious agency of assassins who finds himself going rogue on his first assignment, tracking down a dangerous group of human traffickers. Apache's film follows a young woman who infiltrates the criminal clan who killed her brother. Her plan: to murder each one of them one by one until she gets too close to their fascinating leader. Heart of Stone is the new high-budget movie from Netflix starring Gal Gadot about an intelligence operative for a shadowy global peacekeeping agency who races to stop a hacker from stealing its most valuable and dangerous weapon. 3 Days in Melee is a directorial debut by actor Louis Mandylor about a small group which must defend an airfield for 3 days against the Japanese assault during the fight for Melee in World War II. Inside Man is based on true events. A disgraced police detective seeking redemption by going undercover to expose a violent crime syndicate. But as he sinks deeper into the mob, the price for absolution may be higher than he can afford. The Engineer action film follows the biggest manhunt in the history of Israel to find Yehoiash, the mastermind bombmaker who oversaw a group of suicide troops in Israel in the middle of the 1990s. Killshot follows a group of terrorists who are in search of $100 million that was stolen and lost in a plane crash en route from Afghanistan. Retribution is a new film starring Liam Neeson. Tells about a bank executive who receives a bomb threat while driving his children to school and that his car will explode if they stop and get out. Gran Turismo is based on the unbelievable, inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling, working-class gamer, a failed former race car driver, and an idealistic motorsport exec who risk it all to take on the most elite sport in the world. Mr. 9, do-or-die film follows an elite Bangladeshi spy who teams up with a CIA operative to bring down an international criminal organization headed by a ruthless business executive. The King of Killers action movie starring Frank Grillo, Alain Moussi, Georges St. and Steven Dorff tells a story about Garen, who is a part of a group of international hitmen contracted to take out the most dangerous killer in the world, only to find out that they're the ones being hunted. Twisted Metal is a half-hour live-action TV series based on the classic PlayStation game. It tells a story about a motor-mouthed outsider offered a chance at a better life, but only if he can successfully deliver a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland. The Heels wrestling drama returns for the second season. The show takes place in a small town in Georgia and revolves around the Duffy wrestling family, with the narrative's primary focus on two brothers, Jack and Ace Spade. AMC's Dark Winds returns for the second season. The dark, psychological crime series is set in the 1970s in a remote town in the Navajo Nation and follows a series of inexplicable, violent crimes including murders and robberies. The Winter King is a British historical fiction television series. The story is a retelling of the Arthurian legend and takes place in post-Roman Dark Age Britain, a land where the warlord Arthur has been banished and Merlin has disappeared. Ahsoka is the new TV show from the Star Wars universe. Set after the fall of the Empire, Ahsoka follows the former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano as she investigates an emerging threat to a vulnerable galaxy. Who is Aaron Carter shot up to the top of the Netflix most popular TV shows list and stayed there. This is an action thriller about a seemingly normal substitute teacher with a shady past who doesn't skimp on answers. Ragnarok Season 3 has landed on Netflix. The series follows socially awkward teenager Magni, who confronts the influential Jutless family following the death of his friend in a freak accident. It was a 9th episode of Action Movie Digest from Budamate. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on our Instagram. Thank you for joining us, and please keep your eyes peeled for future episodes.
I got this situation where I need your help.